So sometimes we're asked to calculate and fill in an amortisation table for an annuity just the same way we would for a reducing balance loan. So I know we have software to do that, but again, I don't want you to sort of fall into the habit that you only rely on the software and you can't do it any other way. So this page, on page 20 of your booklet, there is a blank sort of amortisation table that you can go through and fill out. So I've gone ahead and I've filled out all the details for you, thinking that you can possibly just pause on the screen and look and see what the calculations are there. So again, this is that same example that we did before using the financial solver and playing around with the solver, just to show you that sometimes we might be asked to fill in blank boxes on an amortisation table for an annuity as well. So the main thing I guess I want to tell you, if you're doing these sort of things by hand and filling in one box here or there, you wouldn't want to do the whole table for something like this on an exam or a SAC, but occasionally you might want to just do one or two blank boxes and fill those in, and it may be quicker to do it by hand than it is to actually use the amortisation software. So I'll show you that as well in a moment, how that works for an annuity as well. The main thing is, if you're doing it by hand, not to round off the values at all until you get to the very end of the table. So when you're writing in your values, by all means you can round, and you can see there I put ... on the end of all my values there, showing you that I haven't actually rounded when I'm using the calculator. But it's fine to write the values correct to the nearest cent, but don't calculate using the values rounded to the nearest cent, is sort of what I'm saying. So with the calculator, you can easily just highlight and use the entire decimal number rather than just typing in by hand. So what we're really doing, we knew before from that same example with Reza with his $12,000 annuity over 6 months, that the interest rate was 6% per annum, but it was a monthly calculation, so 0.5% per month basically. So that's where that 0.5% of comes from in that interest earned column. So all the payments are the same, $2,035 every month. That one that I've circled down the bottom, payment number 6, that will be the one that's adjusted to empty the annuity at the end. So it won't be $2,035 as we know. So as you go through there, you can sort of look at those calculations and see where I've come up with those values. Most often in an exam, 95% of those boxes would be filled in, and you're only expected to fill in 1 or 2 of them. But knowing how to do it by hand is important also. So you can see there in that first column, we're working out 0.5% of the previous balance to figure out what's interest. Then we're taking the interest payment off the payment, and basically the value of the annuity is reduced by the amount, which is a payment minus the interest. Okay, so it's exactly the same as a reducing balance loan, and the calculation's identical. Okay, so I'm not going to go through every single number that's on there. I'm sort of talking and hoping that you'll be able to pause here and have a good proper look at those calculations and ask some questions if you need to. You'll see down at the bottom on the right hand box there, the only thing I really want to talk about there is that we want that box to be 0. At the moment with our calculations, that box is not 0, so we need to adjust to make that happen. And the reason, the way we can make that happen is to add that 88 cents that's left over onto this payment over here. So this final payment won't be $2,035, it'll be plus 0.88 cents. Okay, and by adding that 88 cents over there, it reduces this balance down now to 0, which is what we want. Okay, so take your time looking at that table there and going through step by step every single calculation. Try and do it on the calculator so you can get those values somehow on the calculator, and make sure you know how that works. Okay, so it does take a little bit of thinking, a little bit of playing around with your calculator, but that final payment there will be $2,035.88. Okay, so just to show you as well on the calculator, when you've got your Amort loan software open, let's start and go through one. So this one is asking for the loan value. You can just take that as meaning the annuity value, and Reese's annuity was $12,000. The interest rate was 6% per annum. We want to see 6 payments. The payment was $2,035 and monthly. Do we want to adjust that final payment? Yes, we do. And you can see there that the, if I just drag up a little bit higher, you can see there that the first 6 payments are shown with payments of $2,035, and that 88 cents at the end there is the leftover that we knew was going to still be there. If we're going to adjust that final payment, which we said yes we wanted to, the adjusted final line 6 there, the last line of the table, is given as well. And basically by adding that 88 cents to the final payment there, we can get the principal reduction down to make the balance be 0. Okay, so the Amort loan software for an annuity and a reducing balance loan works in exactly the same way. So there's no adjustments to do with anything with signs or anything like that. Everything is positive in an annuity, and everything is positive in a reducing balance loan. So exactly the same maths involved. Like we said before, the only difference between a reducing balance loan and an annuity is the direction the money's going. The maths, the calculations are identical, but the money is going in 2 opposite directions. So one is a loan, one is an investment. Maths identical. Okay, so using your Amort loan software and using your knowledge from the flip chart and your booklet, that'll assist you again with exercise 9E.